is a sure sign of perpetual, agonizing conflict. Racial diversity, furthermore, turns everything into a racial turf war. Are the Oscar nominees too white? Should the next Supreme Court justice be an Asian? Do we need more black policemen? Are there enough Hispanic programmers in Silicon Valley? In the United States, you can't just say, I hired the best possible programmers for my business and I ended up with white guys and Asians. No. Unless you have the right mix, the right racial mix, you could even be sued. That's the kind of thing racial diversity brings. Let's look at this from a different angle. If racial diversity is our nation's greatest strength, it must be a truly, truly wonderful thing. It must be better than having a nation the size of a continent with wonderful ports on 2 oceans. It must be better than having the most productive cropland in the world. It must be better than having huge reserves of natural resources. It must be something so great that every man, woman, and child in America wakes up every morning and says, how can I get more of this wonderful stuff into my life?
Thank God I'm an American.
Is that how people really lead their lives? No.
No,
Are you all dying to go
American.
to school
I'm
with
not
Hispanics?
American.
Do you yearn for roommates or neighbors who speak Chinese? Probably not. Most people prefer to
Danish,
be around folks
goddammit. I'm
like
Danish
themselves.
and I'm speaking from Denmark.
Only white people
This
are
is
deeply
where
confused
I
about this
live.
obvious fact.
This is,
In
from here my
2010,
tree
Brown University,
grows.
big Ivy League university, did a study about housing segregation.
I believe in
And John
science
Logan is the
and
professor
logic
who was the lead researcher. What he
and
found,
compassion
I quote,
and
he says,
humanity.
among
I'm white, goddammit.
even those with relatively high
I'm proud of it.
tend to be clustered
Anything
in neighborhoods
wrong
where most
with
of the
that?
neighbors are the same
I'm
race.
Danish.
Race
I have a
trumps
queen.
income. In other words,
A kingdom
black
that
people who
goes
have enough
back
money
a
to
fucking
buy a
1,000
house in a white
years.
neighborhood,
I'm
but
white.
in black
This is where I'm
neighborhoods
from.
Well, Professor John Logan thinks this
Jesus
is all right.
Christ, man.
He has some kind of theory
I
about
don't want to
how
go
real
home.
estate
I am
are
fucking
tricking
home.
black people and
I
making them
love
buy
guests.
houses in black neighborhoods.
Wipe your feet. And I love to have a
John,
lot of
there are
guests,
black
and
people
everybody
with
that
enough
knows
money
me
to live
knows
in white
that.
neighborhoods who prefer to live with black people.
But I like
Not
them to
every
go home
black person
again.
in America wants
Jesus
you as a
Christ.
neighbor.
I don't want them flopping out on
He
my
seems
goddamn
utterly
carpet or my
incapable.
fucking sofa if I had one. I used
The
to
other
have
day, I
one.
read an article in a Los
Asshole
Angeles
pissed at it,
newspaper
but
about
fuck it, you know.
housing segregation in California. That state, as you know, is a real stew. There are people from all over the place.
Anyway, this guy.
And the article was one long moan about the fact that not
Jarod
only are there
Taylor, and up
racially
until
segregated
this
neighborhoods,
morning, I'd never heard
there
of
are
the fucking.
buildings, entire apartment
fucking
buildings,
heard
where
of it.
every single tenant might be from
But
Korea.
listen, man, I
Or
got
every single
friends
tenant
of
might
every
be from
race,
South.
color, and fucking.
Well, the author of
creed,
this
you know.
article was
I don't
all
know.
upset about this. Another
But
goofy
yeah, I've
white
got
person.
plenty of fucking
He seems to think
acquaintances
that this is somehow a trick too. Well,
of every
those people are living
goddamn
in those buildings
color,
because
but
they
this-
prefer
this
it that
is
way.
biology,
They like to
man.
live
This
with
is
people like
science.
themselves because they don't think diversity is a strength.
And I mean, tribalism is
Now,
cool
if you want to
enough,
understand
you know?
race in the United States, all you
My
need to
tribe,
do is just go to church.
your tribe.
Just go to church.
Go
Did you know
home.
that 95% of the church congregations
Wherever
in
you
this
come
country
from,
are
just
at
go home.
least 80% one race? And lots of them are
I ain't
100%
going nowhere.
one race.
I'm gonna sit right
There are
fucking
even about
here
4,000
in my goddamn
Asian
chair.
congregations in the
Right.
United States.
I am home.
Well, you are free
Thank
to go to whatever church you like. Nobody's going to bar the door. Nobody's going to run you off. But when people are completely free to make choices that make them feel comfortable, they go and worship with people like themselves. People want to live,
Makes
work,
sense.
socialize, and go to church with their own tribe.
It's the
A
English.
survey of Californians conducted
Self-evident.
by UC Berkeley found that a majority of whites, Hispanics, blacks, and Asians all agreed with the statement that people are happier when they are segregated. Again, California, as you know, is a
You
mission.
got your side of the street.
People from
I got
all over the
mine.
world moving in, and Hispanics especially have been moving into South Central Los Angeles, which used to be overwhelmingly black. Well, here is what the president of one black homeowners association said
Jesus Christ.
about Hispanics moving in. And I quote,
Well, one thing I will
it's a
guarantee
different
you,
culture, a different breed of people. They don't have
future
the same
is
values.
going to
You
be
can't get together with them. It's
interesting.
like mixing oil and wine.
any way you fucking turn it.
Here is what
Future
one
is
black person
supposed to
told the
be
Philadelphia
interesting.
Inquirer
Let's
some
make
years
the
ago.
whole
He says,
experience
we don't
so
want
intense.
whites
Oh,
living in our
beautiful,
neighborhoods.
it's wonderful.
We don't want our
Hey,
children
man,
going to school
when
with
all
theirs.
is said
We don't
and
want
done,
our daughters and sons marrying their sons and
I
daughters.
treat people
No
the way they
thanks.
treat me. I greet people the way I would
Well,
like
why
to
have I been
treat
talking about
myself, and
segregation?
everything is cool, and I
It's
love
because
to
it's
talk
about
to
how people really live,
from way
not
beyond
what
the
they claim
horizon.
to believe.
Come on, man.
It shows what they really
broadens
think
your
about
horizons.
diversity.
But the
Most
man
of the time,
who's
they don't like it,
speaking
and they steer
sociology,
clear of it.
biology.
Now, don't get me wrong. If some people want to mix it up, absolutely God
Go
bless them.
right ahead. It's chemistry.
After I have finished talking, somebody's
Sometimes
going to
good
get up,
chemistry.
probably a white person,
Sometimes
and he's going
bad
to say,
chemistry.
I love my
We've
Mexican
got to
friends and my
admit
Chinese
that
friends.